All right, welcome back. This is going to be the last video for the um, Advanced WK series. If you've watched all the way up until now, definitely want to say thank you. Or if you watched any of the videos, I definitely do appreciate it. Um, I, uh, I get a lot of personal use out of WK, so I just hope even if it's only a handful of people, um, somebody else finds the program useful as well. But the last section here, we're going to talk about preprocessor preprocessor macros, and you might be thinking, okay, why? What the heck is that? Why is that in this weird little program? And essentially, it's just got to do with sort of baking in flags. I hate having to, you know, remember and like give flags all the time for things. I really like YT, DLP, and those types of programs, Gallery DL, where you can sort of, develop, you can have a config with everything sort of baked in. The switches, everything is available in that interface instead of at the command line. You just give one command, to the file, the config file. And so preprocessor macros are my way of doing that for WK. And I believe I've got a pretty good example here. I've got the preprocessor macros one, but that's not the one I'm looking for. I want logo here. So this is actually the WKS file that I use to create the my God, that's a lot of text to create this image. Um, and so essentially what we've got here are, we've got the WK help. So we've got all these help flags. And essentially what you can do is just, take away the dash dash, replace that with a colon, give the actual flag itself, and then if the flag requires any arguments, you can pretty much just do that right here with the preprocessor macros. So for example, we've got here menu width. It's the exact same as menu width here in the help documentation, and we're setting it to 550 instead of its default is -1 if you're using the default configuration. And then for the font, I'm just increasing the font size to 30. I am using a key chord array with some chord expressions and a write. So because you have to have a command. But so if I give that with key chords examples logo. Well, actually, let me give the regular WK, experience. So, it's this wide, got this size of text, etc., whatever. That's what it looks like normally. But if I give the example here, example logo, now it's totally different. With the key bindings and everything like that. So that's essentially what a lot of these are. You've got string macros, which require a string argument, the switch macros, which don't require any argument, integer macros, unsigned, and number for floating point numbers and stuff. All of those are really one-to-one with the what do you call them there? The actual command line switches or flags. The one that really, in my opinion, makes WK or makes it things interesting is the include macro. So taking a look at that, I've actually got a example file here, include examples and main. So pulling up this example, we can see that it's going to start like the other preprocessor macros with a colon include, and then it requires a file path for the file to include. Um, Basically the same uh, example in the documentation, but it basically works like C or C++ include macro. As far as well, let's just take a look at the notes here. So self includes and recursive includes are not permitted and will cause an error. So I can't do, say, uh, include main.wks. So I can't do that. If I were to try to do that and include examples made, does not support circular includes. That shouldn't have worked. It shouldn't. It should have. Well, actually, maybe I did intend to set it up so that it just ignored it. Will cause an error. I'll review that. But yeah, it's not gonna. It can't include itself. If I were to include a file that then included this file, it'll detect that as well, and won't devolve into recursive nonsense. But one thing that is an issue for actual programs is including the same file twice when it shouldn't be. That's not an issue for WK. That's totally fine, and in fact, maybe desirable. So you may have one WKS file with certain keybinds that are useful under one prefix or another. Instead of having to repeat yourself, you can just include that file in different parts of your config, and that's totally acceptable, totally fine. But yeah, taking a look at this example, so we've got the main overall file with browser, Emacs, MPC for music. If we take a look at the browser file, it's got browsers, a way to exclude browsers, Emacs, and MPC, all totally normal stuff. You'll notice there's flags given and whatnot for these. And for instance, if we did browser and did Brave, it'll print it out. And so this is just a cool way to make the WKS files more modular and more, flexible for people who want to, have, say, one main file and then the actual file that's included maybe on one system, has your it's a symlink or something to the correct file or whatever. It's a different file on a different system. You don't have to change the whole config file. You can just have a different file on, say, your laptop versus your desktop or something like that. So definitely interesting there. That's really gonna do it. I do want to fix the circular includes. That really should, well, I don't know. I don't know if it should not let it happen or just ignore it or what. I want to have that happen, but glad I found that out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for all of the more exotic features of the WKS files. I've been in Emacs this entire time for all these videos, editing the WKS files. If you're using Emacs, I do have a WKS mode package, which you can install, through various means. There's some syntax highlighting that is not working correctly. There's some things I gotta get fixed on that side of things. If any eLisp wizards want to assist or help out there, that's definitely appreciated. It, for the most part, as you can see, works well. If the code is a little bit ugly. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it. Definitely want to say thank you for people that worked on D menu and B menu. Really wouldn't be here without their their work, especially on the B menu side. I don't use Wayland really at all, uh, and have the first program I've ever written for that runs on Wayland. So definitely want to shout them out because that was really helpful. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. If you want to contribute or raise an issue or anything like that, I definitely appreciate that. Appreciate your time, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, bye bye.